This is the Hoka Skyward X. It is Hoka's super trainer, and we are hitting a 100-mile review today. It has been a great training partner for the last 89.99 miles, according to Coros, which has tracked all my runs in it. We're going to go ahead and do a 10-mile easy run today and see how it does at an easy pace. And while I have done some pretty fast running in this, and I'll show you some stats on that, I also have been loving it for easy miles, especially when my legs feel a little beat up like they are today. Having just finished up the half marathon PR that we got, I am just trying to get easy miles this week, still accumulate some volume, but really kind of make life easier on myself. And I think this is a great shoe for doing that. That's why we're choosing it for today's run. Now, stats real quick, it has pretty good energy return, pretty good shock absorption, and I really love how soft it is. It has two different foams. It has a core of PEBA foam and then a carrier foam on the outside to add some stability. It also does have this neat looking carbon plate in here and a ton of stack height. It has been great to have that much cushion underfoot on days that I feel like I need it. The one huge knock is the weight on the shoe. It is just really heavy. Hoka has it, I think, at 10.8 ounces. Run Repeat had the number at 11.1 ounces, and that's just really heavy for sample size. Now, unfortunately, I did have to get it in a 13 when I was purchasing the shoe, and 13 really is a little too long for me, but I think that goes to show how much I've been liking the shoes, even though it's a little bit long. Because much of what I'm doing is easy running, it ends up working out. I would always rather have a shoe that's a little too long than a little too short. So no problems running this for a 10-mile run, even with some extra space. Let's get it on foot and show you guys how stable or unstable it is when we are standing up on this big stack of foam. So we'll kick off the trusty slides here, and we are gonna pop these on. Two of the things I think this just does so well is having the fun factor and having a lot of protection for the legs. So while I do generally like stuff that is lightweight, because this has that nice mix of fun factor, because it's squishy and it has some pretty good energy return and it is really protective, I still end up pulling for it despite the weight. And it actually does have a very stable platform that I'm about to show you right now. So you can see some really nice squish here, both in the heel and in the forefoot, both sides. And even on the sides, although you can see a little bit of squish if I like literally push side to side, it's a very stable platform. You can see because of the width down here, you get this very rectangular kind of shape. And we're gonna give it a quick walk test here. I mean, it just feels like a big marshmallow that you get to smush every step. That's been one of my favorite parts about this shoe, is that big marshmallow chunk is so enjoyable to have just on foot. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and get into the run. Okie doke. So I'm going to go through the 5 big things I noticed with the Skyward X as I go throughout this run. The first one, right away, as I mentioned on the walk test, is this huge stack. So you notice it when you're running. You say, wow, I feel like I am off the ground. Like I am certainly above the ground. But what they got really, really right with it is the wide platform makes you feel very steady on top. And that carbon plate is really just kind of like a torsion plate. I can like put an overlay for you on the screen, but even with that huge stack there, you feel very planted from a like stability standpoint. Also, as always, if you find reviews like this helpful, you can check out the Ontos running brand. We got the name right there. It is my brand. You can hop on the hat wait list. That's my really big thing. Or you can take a look at any of my socks or quarter zips or shirts. And we have stuff that's landing on Monday. So we'll have more stuff, tanks and some ladies' shirts as well. The second thing that is really noticeable in the shoe, and you would notice it right away, but 100 miles in, it's like very evident. The arch is very pronounced in here, and that is true with a lot of Hoka stuff in general, but it's quite noticeable. So much so that I actually wanted to switch the insert out. I had a very flexible X kind of like insert, and I actually switched that out for the original insole. Just feels a little less aggressive, like it fits my foot shape or arch profile a little bit better. So if you are not a fan of a big arch feel, maybe not your favorite choice. If you do like that arch feel, you should be very happy right off the bat. Mile 1, 8:50. We are a couple of miles in, and it's time for a goo test because we haven't had one of those in a minute. This is the Carbs Fuel Sodium. It is by far my most used gel and my favorite overall because of the value. As you know, I'm a huge value guy. And for what you're getting, this is $2.50. $2.50. I mean, you get 50 grams of carbs and 450 milligrams of sodium. And it goes down like that. That's so easy. There's a little bit left, but like, it's so easy to put this big thing of carbs down, and the flavor is very fine. As always, keep it in your pocket until you're somewhere you can get it thrown away, and preferably in a zipped up pocket so it doesn't go flying out anywhere. But yeah, $2.50 for 50 grams of carbs with sodium in it. Man, that is really hard to beat, especially when the flavor is very tolerable. If you want to try them out, by all means, go to mountainrunningcompany.com. That's the store I manage. Would love to get you some. Give that a try. Maybe give some other nutrition a try. The other ones I like a lot are the SIS gels. I like goo when I'm running really easy, like today. Very easy miles. And that's why I'm not doing really, really high carb. If I'm working hard, I like doing 100 plus grams of carbs per hour. When I'm running a little bit easier like this, I am super fine to be like, that's the only gel I'll take for this whole run. I'm just enjoying being outside, getting an easy run in. That's why we're not pushing the pace at all, just accumulating some easy miles. With that said, we will go ahead and get back to the running. The third noteworthy thing with these Skyward X's after 100 miles is how good their dual foam setup is. That core of very bouncy, very energetic foam does very well. And then, as I said, to the stability point, it being encased in that more stable standard, I think it's still supercritical EVA, is so good. So much so, I'll give you a story. I did one of the Coros Pace tests in these shoes before I had a whole lot of like different options. And I can't remember what my fastest mile was in these, but I felt like it was plenty fast, even though it's pretty heavy. I also did some really good like cut down workouts. So I'm kind of forgetting what the exact workout was. I'll throw that up here too, why not? But I remember being very impressed with one, how good it felt during the run, and two, how good I felt the next day, given how hard the workout was. Well, we got kind of warm, so we dropped the shirt. But I did want to be really mindful in saying this out loud because I've been like showing each one of these mile times. It's so important that you don't get caught up in the times on the watch. Like I just ran a half in an hour and 29 minutes. So that's like 6:47, I think was my average pace. Now today, I'm averaging like 9:45. That's a 3-minute difference. And I'm just not stressed about it at all. It's not something I need to worry about because I'm just getting easy miles in and letting the body adapt to more of the mileage. So I wanted to say it out loud. Don't get too caught up in your paces, especially in training. Time to do it in workouts, sure, But most of your easy miles, just let them be easy. That's going to go ahead and take us into point number 4, which is, I love how good these are for heel striking. I think it just takes so much shock out. And then Hoka's kind of MO is having a pretty big rocker, which, as you all know, I really like having a nice rocker in a shoe. So ability to not get real beat up heel striking and have a nice rocker together, pretty impactful, kind of a determinant if you'd like a shoe like this. 2 miles to go. All right, so let's finish that up. We had 10.01 miles in the Skyward X. Finish that up. That was a very comfy run. Average 9:48 pace for 10 miles. I don't know why it always says low efficiency. That's rather silly in my opinion. Anytime you run slow, it just says low efficiency when you are building really good base. I don't remember that 8:49 mile, but I'm sure that was somewhere near the beginning when we were a little ahead of ourselves. Anyhow, let's talk about the shoe. So we have the Hoka Skyward X now over 100 miles. The 5th point I wanted to talk about was the durability of it. Man, the shoe just feels like a tank because you have so much stack back here and you have the carbon plate, which again, you can see just a little bit of it right there and at the bottom here coming across. You can see just how much help it's getting. One from the stabilizer, but the plate in here being a little bit of a stiffening agent along with the dual density foam. They just checked the box on so many things durability wise. I think that is one of the biggest benefits to the shoe is it just goes and goes and goes. And honestly, the other part of that is I really like how it fits on foot. So it's durable, both from a macro sense, 100 miles in, it still feels brand new. And it feels like within a 10-mile run, or I don't know how long my longest is, but I've had plenty of long runs in here. It feels like it just stays good from the start of the run to the end. It's not like it fatigues as you go into further runs. And the upper, it feels like it just fits really well on foot. So to go along with the nice durability, you can also just wear it for a long time without feeling fatigue from the upper. It's not like one where the foam feels great, but you don't really want to wear the upper a long time. It feels like they just checked a lot of boxes, making it really comfortable for extended periods of time on foot. There are other shoes, I'm trying to think off the top of my head what would be like that, like a New Balance 1080. I've actually really been enjoying running in that for easy, shorter runs just because it's light and feels very neutral, just overall like very bland, but sometimes I like that. But I wouldn't want to run that for 10 plus miles. By the end, the foam feels like it fatigues and it just kind of gets blah. That is not what happens in here. I think because the foam is so lively, it just feels great from the start of the run through the end. I'll show you here too, the durability of the shoe. This is 100 miles of wear and there is not a ton of wear to speak of. I mean, you can still see plenty of tread here, kind of through the whole thing. Even with my heel striking, that's just the little bit of wear you can see, but you know, you still have a ton of tread left in here before you'd be getting to the foam itself. So I'm super excited to try the Skyward X2. I know they made some upgrades from this one. That is definitely something I'm interested in, but I'm interested to know if you guys are also interested. As always for rotation, this would fit in most of your rotation. Like you could do a lot with this. As I said, I've run very fast in this. I think if you're a newer runner, this could be a one shoe rotation where you're just getting a ton of comfort and balance and durability. I would probably rather pair it with a daily shoe, so like a New Balance 1080, and then this could be your everything else. You could do workouts in it, you could race in it, you could do long runs where you want to have a little more substance underfoot. So a lot you can do there from your rotation standpoint. If I could do something faster with it, that'd be awesome. So like a third shoe would be something that would go a little faster, maybe a little bit lighter weight. Again, that's the one big knock on this. And then value, again, you can find these on sale for a really good deal. I still think it'd be worth picking up. You know, this shoe was manufactured probably 2 years ago at this point, and it still feels great. So huge thumbs up on that point. Absolutely worth a grab if that's something you're into. So with all that said, I hope you guys have a great day. Always check out the Ontos brand if you feel like these are helpful, or take a look at a video here or playlist here. Until I see you guys in the next one, happy miles. Do something good for your body. Bye.